Atchison, Topeka and Santa Fe 3751 is a 484, technically making her a northern, but in documentation for her particular type, Santa Fe referred to them as heavy mountains, as they were meant to be the successor to their successful mountain types. She was built in May of 1927 by Baldwin, and she was Baldwin and Santa Fe's first 484 type. Tests showed that the new locomotives would be 20% more efficient and powerful than the 3700 mountains they had been using. She served the railroad faithfully for the next decade, and in 1936, she was converted to burn oil, and 2 years after that she was given a larger tender to improve her range. She was also present at the grand opening of Union Passenger Terminal in Los Angeles on May 7, 1939, pulling the Scout, which was one of Santa Fe's major passenger trains, which had arrived from Chicago. She was actually the first steam engine to bring a passenger train into Union Station. In 1941, she, along with 13 of her sisters, would receive some major upgrades, which saw the replacement of her original 73-inch spoked driving wheels with 80-inch box-pock wheels. She was also given a new frame as well as Timken roller bearings on all her axles. That same year, she would achieve her highest recorded speed at 103 miles per hour, and she would be known as a very reliable locomotive throughout her entire career until August 23, 1953, when she pulled the last regularly scheduled steam-powered passenger train on the Santa Fe, which ran between Los Angeles and San Diego. This was also her last run in revenue service before being retired from active duties. After that, she'd be stored at Redondo Junction. But 3751 was fortunate. Santa Fe, in general, was actually pretty good about donating and preserving quite a number of their steam locomotives. In 1958, 3751 was put on display in San Bernardino, California, and she would stay there for over 2 decades. It wasn't until 1981 that a new historical society, the San Bernardino Railroad Historical Society, was formed with the intention of restoring 3751 to operation. The process took some time, but 4 years later, they were able to obtain possession of 3751. She was sold to them for the nominal price of a single cent a penny. Magnificent. But this was on the condition that the society restore and operate the locomotive. They couldn't just keep her and just put her somewhere. They had to actually use her. But that was their intention anyway, so whatever. In 1986, she was moved from her display to the California Steel Industries, where she'd be restored to operation for a cost of $1.5 million. It was expensive and time-consuming, but on August 13th, 1991, she moved under her own power for the first time in 38 years, and she would make her first excursion run on December 27th, 1991, on a 4-day trip from LA via Barstow to Bakersfield. She'd be used for many different excursion runs over the years. One notable example was in August of 1992, when she found her largest assignment as she ran the entire route of Santa Fe's Transcon between LA and Chicago. She spent 18 days traveling over 2,300 miles round trip, and that would include a stop in Topeka, Kansas, to attend that year's Topeka Railroad Days, where she was briefly put on display near Union Pacific number 3985. On April 22nd and the 23rd of 1995, she was displayed in the Riverside Sun-Cursed Orange Blossom Festival in, Riverside. The Riverside excursion would happen again on April 20th to the 21st in 1996. On June of 1999, she participated in Rail Fair 99. In October of 2000, she'd be listed on the National Register of Historic Places, just like her sister, actually, number 3759. In August of 2002, she ran an Amtrak excursion from Los Angeles to Williams, Arizona, to participate in the 2002 National Railway Historical Society Convention. That excursion ran over Metrolink, BNSF, and Arizona and California Railroad trackage. After she arrived in Williams, she pulled some excursions and photo run-bys on the Grand Canyon Railway between Williams and the Grand Canyon Village, including a double header with 4960, as well as a triple header with number 18, who we've discussed before. 3751 also pulled some of the Pullman passenger cars that GCR had for a photo charter that was requested by Goodhart Productions. In May of 2010, she returned to the Surf Line for a third excursion from Los Angeles to San Diego, pulling 8 Amtrak cars and a few Dome cars. In order to alleviate issues with turning her, the excursion was actually split over 2 days, south to San Diego on May 1st and north to LA the next day. The weekend after that, she was in San Bernardino for National Train Day and the 2010 San Bernardino Railroad Days Festival. She also made her annual runs to San Bernardino for the Railroad Days Festival that happens in April or May since the initial trip. In May of 2012, she powered a 6-day excursion from Los Angeles to Williams, Arizona, as part of the centennial celebrations of Arizona's statehood. As part of that, another special round-trip doubleheader to the Grand Canyon and back was run with herself as well as Grand Canyon Railway 4960. The train also operated over the Arizona and California Railroad on the way to Williams and on the return trip to Los Angeles. 3 weeks prior to that, she also made the trip east to attend the San Bernardino Railroad Days Festival for the 3rd year in a row. She's busy. She's really busy. In May of 2013, she ran a 4th trip to the San Bernardino Railroad Days Festival, and in May of 2015, 3751 made an appearance at the Fullerton Railroad Days 2015 in Fullerton, California, making it the first time since 2008 that she would appear there. From May 6th to the 7th, 2017, she was on display yet again, but that would be for the last time for quite a few years, as she needed to go into a 3 to 4 year restoration process. She'd been working pretty hard over the years, so she needed an overhaul. She was on display at Union Station's Summer Train Fest on July 15, 2017, right before the work started. Her overhaul was scheduled to be completed in 2021, and on August 10th of that year, she was test fired right before the 30th anniversary of her first return to steam, as well as the 40th anniversary of the Society in general. In March and April of 2022, she was equipped with the new positive train control system, which allowed her to safely operate on Amtrak's lines. After that, on September 24th and the 25th of 2022, 3751 participated in, the Amtrak Track Safety Community Event at the Fullerton Transportation Center. Based on all this, it's abundantly clear that the San Bernardino Railroad Historical Society has done a bang-up job of taking care of and operating 3751. It is difficult in the modern day to find places that are willing to allow such a large engine to operate, as we've discussed with other locomotives in the past, but according to the Society's own website, they are in the process of finding more places to run her. And with positive train control installed, that definitely opens up a lot of doors that are still closed to other preserved steam locomotives. And I think it's safe to say that 3751 will definitely remain around for many years to come. And with that, a special thank yous to all my underwater train finders, Some Dude 267, Orange Glass, Benjamin Owens, Panzer Kitsune 131-232, and Zach A1, Arthur Roy, Tommy Rossini, Brian, Jack Carson's Ruro Videos, Lord Off 444, Mark Holding, Murder Drones Doll, A Person 723, Royal Hudson 2860, Iceman for 1405, Charles Kwiatkowski, Matt Weaver, Tom Redlion, NS Productions 8104, Hannah Bird, Hendrick Motorsports Fan 5, Wheeljack 8401, Rescues Greyhounds, The Baxter, Caleb Crosswhite, Ohio Trucker 1, Joshua Long, Andrew Bowen, Josh Johnson, Hayden DeGrow, Caleb Rainwaters, Prez Drenton, Master of None, Arizona Hot Rail, Liam Wright, Mr. Sleepy, Travis Dolinsky, and Jared Brussel. Till next time, this is Darkness, and I bid you all a fond farewell.